Yeah.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode number 6 of DJs and Beers. Well, here it's 9 p.m. on a Thursday night, and I guess there's some people who watch us for the first time, so let me just give you a quick rundown of what this is all about. As always, we're talking about very non-essential stuff. We have a secret guest coming on very soon, which actually all of those other ones don't know, because just one of us every week gets to choose the secret special guest. This week that was me. So I'll introduce the secret special guest in a little bit while the others can guess who it is. Last week it kind of leaked a little because you out there have to know we have like 2 people sitting sort of like somewhere virtual in the background, which is Andy and Justin from Juice Productions, who's taking care of the technical side. And Andy is basically our producer who's taking care of the secret special guest. But last week, Justin, I guess he went live with Marco Farone's Facebook page before we revealed Marco Farone. So people out there who were accidentally on Marco's Facebook page knew he would be on our show. That was absolutely non-intentional. And those guys mostly don't know. Sometimes we're just like stupid and the information gets leaked. Andy will be monitoring all the chats that are going on all our individual Facebook sites or wherever we stream this talk. I'm by now a little confused where this is all going out. But if you have any questions out there, just shoot them out within the next hour, because Andy's going to monitor them, and he's going to come on in about an hour and is going to ask us and our secret special guest all those questions. And with this, I want to start the show by saying cheers. I'm having a Brooklyn lager.
We should probably do a toast to Mike Huckabee, who we lost sadly recently.
Yeah.
So,
Rest in peace and cheers.
Rest in peace, Mike. Cheers, guys. Yeah, anyone's like, I've never had the honor to meet Mike Huckabee. Anyone else of you knew him personally?
I met him once. I don't know if I'll try to keep the story real brief, but it's kind of funny. Like a few years ago, I was being picked up at the airport for a gig from a promoter, and he was texting with Mike Huckabee at the time. And Mike Huckabee texted him to tell me to say, hey, say what's up to Truncate, and tell him I said come to the tree. And I was like, he's like, he said you'll know what that means. I said, I have no idea what that means. So that was that. Years later, I play a gig in Switzerland. He played another room at the same party. We're in the car driving back home driving back to the hotel. That's where I meet him in person, and really nice dude. And then he tells me, hey man, I really love your music. I play it all the time. And I really love that track, Come to the Tree. And I was like, man, somebody told me about this. I have no idea what that means. He's like, yeah, it's one of your early tracks. And I was like, I don't have any tracks called Come to the Tree. And he's like, it's like one of the first Truncate records. And I said, do you mean Concentrate? And he goes, that's the one.
Wow.
And I was like, what the, because like for years he was like, Come to the Tree. I was like, I don't even know what that means. Yeah, that's kind of funny.
I worked briefly with Mike when I was still at Native Instruments, and we used to organize like educational kind of things for like machine teaching people how to use stuff. And he was one of the product specialists that used to teach some of the products. So we used to work together. He was a super sweet guy, and he was definitely one of the nicest people I've worked with in so long. He gave a lot to education for younger children and stuff like that. So mad respect to him. He was a really good dude.
Yeah. Yeah, lost a legend.
Yeah.
Cheers to another legend gone.
Cheers.
We'll be back.
Matt, something interesting happened to you recently that you started to share with us, but you didn't really fully go into it.
Well, I've posted a few pictures, but yeah, on Tuesday night we were having a little dinner downstairs. We have a courtyard, and the weather's been amazing here in Berlin, and so we've been lucky enough to use the courtyard and go downstairs with the kids, and business as usual. Had a few drinks. We had some. Eva made an amazing octopus. It was great. It's very traditional Croatian style, and then we got in the lift with 2 kids and got to the 2nd floor, and it just stopped, and just the power went off, and we ended up having to call the fire brigade, who then closed the street down, and we had about a fire crew of 8 firemen come and rescue us on Tuesday night. It was very surreal to be rescued in your own house, and yeah, it was a very strange experience. But luckily, I mean, I think if we didn't have the kids, and if it was me on my own, and I don't speak very good German, I would have been in there for hours. But you know, like our son was screaming, and so they were there within 30 minutes. I mean, and got us out, so that was pretty cool. But yeah, and so big thanks to the Berlin firemen and firewomen who got us out. So yeah,
Cheers to them.
it's them. But you know, I don't know. It was like it always feels a bit weird when these guys or any kind of service people come to your house for these kind of trivial things. I mean, I guess getting out of a lift isn't so trivial, but I don't know whether I felt like we were wasting their time to a certain degree. You know?
Like rescuing a cat from a tree, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
Were they wearing like face masks and stuff, protective gear?
Yeah, no, they were actually there was about, I'd say half of them were wearing masks, the rest of them weren't. But yeah, I don't know what the protocol is. I don't know whether they should be wearing masks. I don't know. But yeah, that was our Tuesday evening. So,
are you a claustrophobic person or no?
I've been actually. I mean, our lift is pretty infamous. From years ago, I think Seth Troxler and Craig Richards got stuck in the lift after being at my house for almost 2 days. So, God knows how that was for them getting out. But yeah, there's no doors on either side. It's like it's an industrial lift. I mean, you could get a small car in there, or at least 2 motorbikes in there. So, and it's notorious for breaking down. Yeah.
Hilarious. How many floors up is your place, or how far were you?
We're on the 5th floor. We live in like it's a pretty old building, and we're on the back part of the building, and we literally have no neighbors. It's all commercial offices. We have 2 neighbors downstairs who we'd met that night, and but yeah, I mean, I've been stuck in there for hours before. So
wow, hours,
yeah.
Hours.
Yeah, I mean, I don't speak German very well, so I don't get the service maybe. So
I've never been stuck in an elevator in my life.
Yeah, me neither. I don't want to be.
You guys just live on 1st floors in LA, right?
Pretty much.
Earthquakes, man.
Earthquakes, right?
This is grounded.
Ali, you got stuck in a lift, didn't you, with Marcel?
No, years ago we were doing a boiler room at Richie Houghton's house, and Marcel was playing along with Alvanoto, Carson Nicolai, and Daniel Miller, Rich, me, and he invited. I couldn't believe he was using his house for the boiler room, so he invited tons of people there, and everybody's using the lift constantly, going up and down. And at one point, we heard that like 3 or 4 people got stuck in his lift. And, you know, everyone's, because he lived on the top floor, nobody wants to take the stairs. So, you know, as many people as can fit end up going into that elevator. So then we go down and we see there's like a little crack and we see who's in there. It's like Michael Weicker, Marcel Detman, maybe even Ben Klock. I can't remember. I think maybe Gideon.
Yeah, Gideon was in there.
Gideon.
That's where I heard the story from.
It was hilarious. And then I don't think they got out for another hour or so. And so everybody that was coming to the party would immediately go straight to the elevator, see the guys, say hello. They would have to explain to everybody the situation. Yeah. And then people took the stairs up. And then when they finally came up, everybody kind of erupted in claps and cheers. So it was fun. And they you know, they were really cool with it. They obviously by that point needed a drink.
How are you guys in LA? How was the week in LA?
Pretty hot. Not for me. I live closer to the ocean, so it's not as hot here. More inland.
I live in the valley, so it's
always hot.
It was intense. I had the AC blasting the whole time. I was just like, oh my God, man, it's summer already.
There was a heat wave in LA, I heard, right?
Yeah, it was hot.
Not here.
It was over where I lived. It was already, I think, like 96 degrees. I don't know what that is in Celsius.
That's like 30.
Yeah.
38. That's like hot.
Yeah.
30, 33. I don't know, 35, something like that. But the air quality must be great right now, isn't it?
Yeah, not only that, there's a lot of like wilderness out and about too.
Yeah.
You have bears coming by and stuff?
No, because I live near the hills, so I was driving through this canyon by my house called Turnbull Canyon, and it's been when I was younger, I used to see a lot of deer, but it's been a while since I've seen deer, and then I saw like 3 deer cross the road, and I was like, oh damn, they're coming back out.
Sweet.
5 DJs talking about the weather.
Yes.
Amazing.
It doesn't take to change a light bulb.
So, Chris, do you wanna tell us a little bit about the secret guest, since it's you that?
I want to first show you something else. Like, did you guys see that? Did you guys see that here? Hold on. Can you see that?
The UFOs.
Oh yeah, it's a UFO. I see them all the time.
Yeah. Just propaganda, Chris. They're just trying to, just by making marijuana legal, they're just trying to numb their audience.
Look, it's rotating. I mean, guys, come on. This is the U.S. Navy basically releasing footage of UFOs, and nobody gives a shit. Nobody cares.
As the country's falling to bits, so this is why they do it. It's those little things, drip feeding the nation.
Are you really thinking that is the case? That's the case? Well, then it didn't really make a big wave because nobody really talks about them. But I think it's pretty insane.
To be frank, honestly, though, that footage isn't necessarily new. I mean, that footage was out.
Been around, exactly. Yeah.
It's been around for a while.
But now they confirmed it.
I think the Navy finally confirmed it, but the pilot who released it was doing interviews and talking about it for a while.
He was the guy that was on Rogan, right?
Yeah. He did the Joe Rogan show and
so they
a couple other like UFO shows and stuff like that.
They confirmed that it's an unidentified flying object officially, and they have no idea what it is.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and it flies like 140 miles against the wind, and it turns, and there's more of it. Like, what can this be? But anyways, yeah, we have a.
That's a good segue to our next guest.
What? Did anything leak again? Do I have to say anything? All right, I'm very happy to tell you that my super secret special guest for tonight. I don't think it's an understatement to say that the global techno scene would not be the same without this artist. I can refine it a little, which doesn't give away too much clues. The Berlin techno scene would definitely also not be the way it is today. This artist also has very much an admiration for a band that I admire too, and most of you too, a band that Daniel Miller once discovered, and also remixed Cover Me from the last album, which I love that remix. I played it up and down. This artist has an amazing playlist on Spotify called Isolation that I was basically listening to all day. Mo's already Googling it.
Oh, no, I was checking the live feeds, but
yeah, right. And yeah, well, and I mean, we can make it a little shorter. Also, this artist maybe can reveal something about the video that I just showed.
Yeah.
That's a random clue. Okay.
That's a pretty random clue.
So they're in on the UFO.
I know who this artist is.
I know who it is.
I think I know who it is.
Okay, shoot it. And then I invite the artist.
I think it's Ellen.
Yay! Our secret special guest to this week is Ellen Allien. And Andy, if I could ask you to have her on. Producer, are you hearing us?
You have to ask nicely.
Can we have a beer, a drink in the meantime? Do we have some interim like the music that is on in the what do you call it?
A jingle.
A jingle going on.
Or something like that.
Just to have some time, because I yet don't see her in my participant list, and we need to get her on the participant list. Well, guys, let me use this chance to tell you once. Let me use this chance to tell you once again that oh, Andy, yeah, come in. Let me tell you to again, if you haven't joined us from the very beginning, or maybe you already zoned out while we're talking about elevators. What is this? All right. Andy is our producer in the background. Hello, Andy. And he's monitoring the chat. So if you have any questions, shoot the questions. Andy will come in about less than an hour and basically gives us the questions so we can answer them. And that's basically the case. So shoot the questions on, it doesn't really matter. Does it matter on which comment sections, wherever? No, it doesn't, right? And
I think they're monitoring all the questions everywhere. So,
Ellen, we already revealed your identity.
Connecting the audio.
I'm sorry that you're wearing the mask still, but we already revealed your identity. You're on, Ellen. Can you hear us?
Ooh.
Ellen, we already revealed your identity.
Ah, so I can take this shit off.
You can take the shit off.
Whoa! I'm so happy. Oh, it's so hot, guys.
Welcome. I'm sorry, we're still new to this. We're still trying to find out how to do this. And I thought we'll put you on earlier with your mask on, but I think that was a misunderstanding between me and my producer, Andy.
Oh!
Hello, Ellen.
Hey, Ellen.
How are you, Ellen?
Hello, guys. How is everybody?
We're good.
Not bad.
Good.
So amazing you're joining us. Thank you.
Yes, of course. That's
Are you
have a
drinking a beer?
and
or-
tequila.
Oh, tequila.
Right. Cheers.
Chin chin, guys. No, I'm not a beer drinker. No.
Ever?
I'm drinking mostly, if I drink alcohol, I love tequila with water.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
No,
I can't do like tequila straight. It's like instant heartburn.
Oh, I just
Really?
Yeah. Same with mezcal. I gotta like water it down a bit.
always mix it. Always mix it.
We had some
Are you-
tequila together in Tulum. That was the last time I saw you at the afterlife party.
Yes, we found you on the entrance, and it was really hard to get in. It was overpacked, no? You remember? With your girl, this girl running the shop in LA.
Yeah.
Dog.
Dolls Kill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey girl, check it out. It's a very funny web store or store for rave clothes, like in the 90s.
Yeah.
Some sexy issues. Oh yeah, we met there last time and had a nice tequila ride. Oh, nice times. Still everything on top.
Feels like it was forever ago.
And now we are so quiet.
This was just mid-January. Yeah, just a few months ago. It's crazy, and now the world has changed.
It's like yeah, it's crazy. Everything is very peaceful now. I'm overslept.
Are you?
How are you doing right now?
Yeah.
How are you doing right now, and how is it for you, this whole thing?
I mean, it's not only about me or you, it's about us, of everybody. I think for me, it's like the ending of the globalism. It's like the global crisis. For me, I mean, I'm in Berlin at the moment. Here's my family, my friends. I have a brilliant roommate. We are DJing here all the time. We're having fun, you know. I'm doing music a lot. But sometimes it hits me really strong because I'm just very sad what's going on in the world. Mm-hmm. I mean, if this really built up in a labor and somebody spit it out, or it was just a mistake or whatever it was, it's very frustrating. I mean, sometimes I'm really sad, I'm very depressed, and another day I'm just happy because I have a good day, because yeah, I'm doing constantly music, which helps a lot.
Yeah.
And you said you're able to work on music.
Yes, I'm 3 or 4 times each week. I'm going in the studio. I'm working with Pablo Mateo at the moment, and it's very cozy. We are friends, and it's nice time, you know, spending time just even if you don't do anything or need a little bit, and then I'm going home and doing a lot of podcasts, or I have many records still here in my house, synthesizers. I have so many things to do. I'm getting crazy in my house. It's getting better and better here. Everything is half organized now.
Do you think like not being able to play in clubs is kind of changing how you might be making music right now, or are you still just making club tracks?
I'm so physical. I'm getting crazy not to dance. So if I'm in the studio, I have to bang. I'm really not in the mood of listening music or telling the world how the world has to change. I want to say anything. I just want to move my ass, I have to say. And now it's fucking summer.
Inside.
I think we all have good days and bad days. Yeah, we're all coping with it in the same way.
Yes. And you guys, is everybody home? And
yeah.
Yep. I think it's day number 40.
He's got his little
7. I have like a prisoner. I have like these little stripes there, you know, every day I put one. It's too many to count right now, but it's the 6th episode we're doing. So obviously it's at least the 6th week of isolation here. And it's so interesting. Like I feel a lot like club music somehow. I want to move. And when I do those streams, I just like bang it out like crazy. And you would think that this period makes you feel like more ambient music and stuff like this, but no. I was listening to your playlist on Spotify earlier on, the isolation playlist. I love it, and it's banging partly too, but it also has its silent parts.
Now
right?
I have played 2 playlists on Spotify. It's one called We Are Not Alone. It's like more that kind of music what we are playing at Wiesmüller. This club's closed now. And there's the isolation thing which I made. It's a brilliant playlist actually, with all my favorite musicians in the last 10 years or longer. I mean, there are of course thousands of more beautiful songs. Yeah, I think it's the best what we can do at the moment is sharing music and vibes.
Right.
And good together and not like fucking each other up like
Ellen, do you think people are going to be out tomorrow in Berlin? Do you think people are going to go out? What do you think?
I mean, tomorrow it will be very quiet. I think it will be a very sad 1st of May. I mean, it was like a very radical day.
Yeah.
Once the police took me also in the prison because by myself I went to the 1st of May thing and had some problems with the police. But these days it's anyway not so radical anymore. The 1st of May is party thing, you know.
Yeah.
It's not so political anymore. Ecstasy killed actually the political actions. I think people, no, it will be not very loud or something, no, because we all, in Germany, everybody respects the rules and we are trying to do our best that it's fast over, you know.
Yeah, but I mean, I was in Golly Park on Tuesday. We were going to pick my daughter up and I mean, it was packed. I mean, there's so many people out in Berlin that I just think that maybe people aren't going to respect because they're like, oh, I don't have it, so let's go and party, or like fuck the police, blah blah. I don't care. You know, it's very Berlin still has that anti-establishment kind of vibe, even though it's more gentrified. It still has that, and I just wonder whether you're a Berliner, right? So
yes, I mean, there are many house parties already, jam parties, whatever kind of parties. People die in flats. Of course we are very social here in Berlin. many people are living together in small flats. Of course, sun is shining, they're going out. Go out, but stay not in big groups. Just hold distance, because I think the virus is very, very dangerous. I have some friends of friends, they had it, and it was very complicated. Because persons are dying, also in our ages, also they don't have to be 60 or 80, you know.
No, for sure.
So we have to keep the distance on 1st of May. So I'm doing on my balcony streaming. I'm getting drunk after, and I make with my roommate here a home party until I'm on the floor under my carpet and crying. And what are you guys doing on the 1st of May? What is your plan?
For me, I'm just going to be here in the house with the kids. That's it. So.
And you do a little session.
Yeah. I don't know. The weather's. I mean, the weather's changed, so I'm not sure, but maybe it's every day is like the weekend here at the moment, so we're not doing anything, you know.
Excuse me.
Your kids, Matt. Sorry.
Excuse my ignorance, but what's the 1st of May thing again? I know I've been there when it happens, but I always forget what the reason of the celebration is for.
The Day of the Workers.
Yeah.
It's like you're
celebrating the workforce, basically.
Yes.
Okay.
And
so it's a holiday.
Yeah.
It's a holiday, a very strong political movement for the rules, for the needs of the workers, for many, many things. And now it's changed a little bit more like in a happy part, like party thing. But actually it's something political, very radical.
Yeah, I've been there when everyone's just out in the street, parties, like DJ setups, and it's pretty wild.
Yeah, it's insane. It's intense.
Yeah. Okay, so
I didn't even realize it's a holiday tomorrow till my kids told me they don't have like homeschool tomorrow, and I'm like, why not? It's a holiday. And then I realized, oh my God, it's May 1st already. And I checked, Ellen, I checked today. You were supposed to be in South America right now, right? In Sao Paulo tomorrow. I saw that on Resident Advisor actually.
You know, I don't check any dates anymore, because I planned everything with my friend from Mexico. We would be now together. So also some friends or people I love, I can't be with them. It's very sad. And I think there are many people like me now everywhere in the world. Families, they are split, and it's just, I don't watch any dates. I said to my agency, please don't tell me who now canceled, because makes no sense. Just tell me when we start again.
Yeah.
Do you have like a small group of friends that you see regularly, or are you just hanging with your roommate, and when you go to the studio, the people that you're working with?
So the first weeks I stayed with my roommate in the house. Mostly we stayed inside.
Do you guys party together as well?
Yeah, we party together. Yeah. We are listening to many podcasts of you guys and friends, and there's Freddie K. He's doing every day a radio show, SoundCloud, and there are many actions. And Rubenstein, she's doing sometimes Facebook. So we have some people we follow, and this is our time, like we had when we would go out here in Berlin. So we keep going to celebrate the music, not to be too sad and too depressed. And then I see, of course, I'm going still in the office. We have 4 people at the office. And one person made home office. He didn't want to come. He was really afraid. He was super afraid. So he stayed home, and the other guys, other 2, they are living close to the office. They went to the office with a mask and with gloves. But everybody's fine. Fabian is back now. He's working half day now at B-Pitch. The rest we can still pay. We still have work because we still release music. We are working on a compilation. Truncate is also, thank you Truncate, to be a part of it.
Yeah,
so we have now 25 artists joining us. Truncate, Insulate, Rebecca, Inhalt der Nacht, people from Griesmühle, some DJs, Tam, Gritz from Tocken, Ellen Allien. It's a long list. because I'm not a big fan of compilations, because the people they do their own compilations, you know.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit useless. But now I felt like, let's do something together to feel connected, to send emails, to make business, or, you know, like, oh, there's something out, you know, and maybe people write you again, oh, your track is nice. So the sales going down, some vinyl shops. I mean, most of the vinyl shops are closed, all of them. Next week they start again working, but the shipping is very complicated, of records, of everything.
So Ellen, is the compilation you're doing, is it like a charity compilation, or is it to do with this, what's happening, or is it just a B-pitch compilation of the time?
No, We Are Not Alone compilation. It's
okay, cool.
a concept we are running at Griesmüller. Griesmüller closed down in January.
Yeah.
They're searching for a new club, so I wanted to do a
Pay
We
your
Are Not Alone compilation just for our fans.
Yeah, cool.
Money doesn't go to anywhere. I paid for some clubs by myself. I don't want to ask people paying for something. I do that for myself.
Yeah.
And I helped already some clubs, and I will do that. Every day I get emails. It's super hard to decide who should I help.
Yeah, for sure.
Because everybody needs help now, and now we have to help each other, of course. And it's just the beginning.
No, for sure. I mean, I'm involved with this compilation for the NHS in the UK, and so, but I mean, it's just a very small. All I can do is I've donated a song, but I mean, like you said, this is going to be a very long process. So we have to do what we can, and I think like this compilation you're doing, I mean, it was such a great night in this club that you need to remember it as well, right? So
and you know, when it closed down, I wasn't in Berlin. I was in Tulum for my vacation, and I seen everything on Instagram because they talked to the government, and I cried because it was my home, because they let me do what I wanted to do. I could play however I wanted. It was a new club with new energy, with fresh energy, without anybody of the owners or people telling you anything what you have to do. It was a free place, But I think they will find something after. But now we have Corona. In 1 year, we talk again about it.
And what about this fire at IPSA? What do you know what happened? Any news?
No news that the IPSA burned down like 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Warehouse, and one fireworker nearly died. He's
really?
Yes, he's very.
Oh wow.
Very sick. Oh well, and IPSA. In IPSA we did also events. Beautiful club. But I think the Berlin club scene. I mean, Corona, of course. Some clubs can't pay the people anymore. Maybe they have to sell their events. I don't know how they can survive. We have to see what happens.
Yeah.
Find ways. The government has to help also. We will make it.
Yeah, I think that
coming down. You know, Corona, fuck it.
I think that from speaking to friends and speaking to this group, that I mean, I think being in Germany is not a bad place to be during a situation like that we're going through, you know. And also I think the support that, you know, that we're getting, and also that helps the workers or people out there, I think it's, you know, it's great. So
I mean, we have not only Corona.
Thank them, you know.
We don't have only Corona problems in the world. There's Syria, there's Russia, the president in Russia. There are so many things there on the side now. We have to keep the eye open, otherwise they do what they want. You know, everybody's talking about Corona.
It's all the focus is on Corona, yeah. So like, I mean, of course, so much could be happening that we have no clue. Just like
UFOs.
You put the UFO video out, no one cares.
Hey, that's the thing, though. I laugh my eyes out. I mean, next level. Hey, why not? They can pick us up, no? Bye-bye.
Take us away from here.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw that, but I showed the video of the U.S. Navy filming the UFOs. You know, the U.S. Navy has revealed some footage of filming UFOs, basically. Did you see that, Ellen?
Yes, I saw it. It's very pretty, and of course, I'm believing I believe in that there's something. Of course, there's something, but I think they don't want to talk to us because we kill each other, and even they
We're
don't
toxic.
give up to bring us to the beautiful planet, my dream planet. So I don't know. Maybe they saw something that, yeah, or fake news. We don't know. I mean, there's so many fake news. Doesn't matter if it's UFO or if the president is talking about underwears. Yeah, let's hope.
You guys have friends that are buying into conspiracy theories? Because I have friends sending me like crazy messages with videos and links to articles. Like I have a few friends that are really like going down the rabbit hole of and apparently right now with the fear of COVID, it's ripe for conspiracy theorists to get people to pay attention to whatever it is their platform is.
Yes, I mean, we don't know what they're seeing, and every brain is different, not so relaxed, or maybe they saw something what we can't see. You don't know that. Everybody's free for different theories, and yeah, what I feel is like what you said, like the illness is getting bigger. Mentally, in my area where I'm living, it's very, I moved here because it's for women in the night, because sometimes I wake up in the night and I want to go out and buy me a drink or whatever. Yeah, I want to make a round to go back to sleep. This freedom I want to have as a woman in the city I'm living. So I moved in this area. So last week my friends were here and I wanted to bring them 3 o'clock in the night home, halfway, 10 minutes in Berlin. So I bring them half home. Of course, everything's super empty here. Empty. Only strangers in the streets. Yeah, I saw maybe 5 people, strangers. I said, oh, wow, what's going on here? What kind of people are on the roads? And then I wanted to go back home by my own. And there's a guy behind me, running behind me, faster and faster. I turn. What do you want, bitch? And no, I didn't say bitch. She said bitch. What do you want? I said, you bitch. And then he started running to me. I said, what the fuck? Running away towards Platz. Luckily, there was Späti open. I called my friend to pick me up. I was so afraid. As a woman at the moment in Berlin, it's so dangerous.
Yeah.
Also in underground there, because the illness is getting bigger. And I think the people, when it's getting quiet, when they're living outside, they're getting crazy. Or maybe they think, okay, it's empty in the roads. Now I can take birds, animals, whatever is passing by.
Yeah, I mean, I think that around the same thing happened to a friend of ours in just near Hardwax last week, and it's definitely getting more crazy around Cotti and this area. So I don't know. Yeah, maybe it's.
Then we should definitely put out an extra toast, because it's May 1st tomorrow, Workforce.
Yeah.
An extra toast to all those people who are working their asses off to keep us safe, and all the nurses and the people in the supermarkets and the delivery people and the police force and all those. Cheers to you guys.
People, the hard workers at the moment. Thank you.
To those hard working ones, because we're just sitting here talking.
Yeah, we are just sitting here talking. We have no work anymore.
Exactly. But Ellen, you were born and raised in West Berlin, right?
Yes, I born in West Berlin, and when the isolation started.
So you know a little bit about isolation.
Yeah, isolation when it started. I felt very strange, and after a while I understood that, wow, it feels like back in the days in West Berlin. I felt like very like in the cage, surrounded by the wall. And this feeling came up again, and my trauma of growing up in Berlin came back in the way, hit me back, and I was like, okay, this is now next level with the crisis. We don't know where it goes. Maybe it will be fine in a few months, maybe not. But at the moment, I felt a little bit strange because I can't move anymore. Nobody can move. Our borders are closed. I can't see my friend, my lover, and somebody is telling me now you stay here and you can't go out, and everywhere in the world. I mean, in Spain, in Italy, they couldn't go out. I don't know if, it was.
Growing up in West Berlin, is that really, did you have, because I've never been to West Berlin when the wall was still there, and none of us have been. Was there always this background noise of, wow, we're in a confined space, we're like locked up somehow? Was that always a background noise with you when you grew up?
Yes. As my mom, she born in the Second War, and my grandma, she had to go with 3 kids to move to Schlesien in the winter, and one brother died on the way. And it's like all the story of the history is in my blood. I have all the stories of my family. So I grew up in West Berlin, surrounded by the wall. It was very peaceful. Sometimes not, because we had the Alliierten. US was still here. So, and it was like military feelings all the time. It was a military city. And so when I played next in the forest, there was always a wall. And the wall was always called dangerous because people tried to jump over, be killed, or whatever you see in the news. It was very, very military. So when we wanted to visit my family in the east, we had to pass by the border, and it was, you couldn't take newspapers, they controlled you. So me as a kid back in the car, like shaking, because guys with guns checking our cars. I mean, I felt very like, it was very military. Of course, for even harder, completely different story, communism, and so the world came down, and Ellen was the most happiest person in the world. I think if I wouldn't see that, I couldn't be who I am today, doing my own thing like that. This has really a lot to do with what happened in Berlin. It's a political, social movement for me, techno, and what I'm doing as a woman since the beginning, first generation or second generation, whatever you want to call it. I couldn't do that otherwise.
Do you feel like right now, with everything going on, that you could kind of make some sort of political statement with techno music? Like, let's say with clubs closing down, we spoke about this in another show before about, you're probably most likely going to have like renegade parties. People are going to be throwing underground parties, kind of like to fight the system, kind of a thing. Do you think that would probably happen again during these times?
I think it will be, I thought the same, maybe it will be a little bit more radical again, but I think it will be like we have 50 people can do parties together, and then it will be more like a hipster thing. You can enter, you not, or maybe you have to make the test, which is expensive. Yeah. Short the test, or you test 50 euros, 100 euros, however, I don't know how much it will be. For me, it will be a hipster thing, or you make it really illegal, like private with your friends. But all what here, everybody there, all of us doing our own businesses, our labels. What we are doing is already very social and very radical on the other hand, because we are trying to push our music we love. Yeah, we are fighting for it. Yeah. We have to deal with many things coming through, money, whatever we try we are surfing, every day. Yeah. The radical part could be tomorrow, 1st of May, for example. It will be for me what I'm gonna do. Let's see what I can do here in Berlin tomorrow for the workers, for the respect everybody. But to do something radical these days in techno, it's not, like, because it's so fashion, it's so big.
Yeah, because you know, like there's people that don't believe in being locked down. Like there's going to be that group of people for sure, and they're going to be techno heads, and they're just going to be like, let's fight the system, let's throw a party because we want a party, and we don't want to have the government tell us to be locked down. You know
I mean,
what I
this
mean?
happened. This
It's
happened also
happening.
in LA. I'm
Yeah.
sure. And
Yeah.
in Washington maybe too, and in Frankfurt. And yeah, this happened. Of course, that the people make communities together, little groups, but these are friends and friends
Yeah.
sharing vibes together, having fun, smiling. I mean, hey, people go for it outside, whoever is listen. Of course, dancing, spending time together, feeling free, feeling physical again, and relaxing while you dance. I mean, wow, we want that so much. We
Yeah.
can also, if I can do it with my roommate, also, or with 5 or 10 or 20 people. Afterwards, but when?
You think our industry is going to ultimately, when we get through this, benefit from this shutdown and the effect that it's having? Do you feel like we were headed in this direction with too many festivals, too many DJs, the market being saturated by too much mediocre music, whatever? Do you think this is going to be viewed as like maybe a correction or a reset that we needed?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I mean, I have nothing against festivals. I have nothing against small, big clubs, whatever it is, because people choose it. People outside choose what they want to listen. How they choose it doesn't matter here. They choose it, okay? To playing in a big festival or by myself on the dance floor with my some DJs playing I love so much, and I'm in the middle of the dance floor and just with my friends dancing and closing my eyes and the lasers and whatever. I love it, you know. I mean, mushrooms, tequila, boo, but
Ellen, do you think that the trends will change if there aren't any clubs? Do you think that the things that are going on right now, if people don't have the ability to socialize within club spaces, will that affect the musical trends that have become very maybe popular in the last year, like this very fast techno thing? Will it be superseded by something else if people can't go out and hear it in clubs?
I think the people, how Truncate said, there's this radical movement or this movement of little groups, and there's we still bring music out, so people will listen to our music and they will have flashbacks. At the
for
moment
sure.
we are living, we are jumping to the past and now, and it's got boop, 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 boop. So flashbacks, creations. We have to see. It's also not up to us who can run parties after the crisis.
For sure.
Which person, which club owner open the doors again? If there's Berghain not anymore, there's no Marcel and no Ben first, yeah, and all the resident DJs and the vibe and whatever. Okay, another club will open, but they can't do it as Berghain with this, all this history and experience, or Awakenings, or CSD is cancelled. Okay, CSD is no club, it's something else. So we have to see who can survive. We need to help. We need to help the clubs when they open and the festivals or whatever, the owners, to open the doors, and that they can open the doors.
Yeah, but I was more talking about this style, this super fast techno that's very 90s inspired. It's also very sort of fashion focused, and of course that means that it's very based upon people partying, dressing up. It has a kind of certain look, and without this social element, because you know this music is like it's like a, to me it's a flashback to the 90s, right? It's 90s inspired. So without maybe a party, whether I'm talking about whether the trend will move on, whether those people who are maybe into that in 6 months will go on to something else. Is it?
No, I don't think so. I think there's very good producers and I like it actually.
Yeah,
The 90s coming back, and the fast, that it's very fast also, because I'm a very physical person. I love to dance on fast beats.
But you were there, weren't you? This is a thing as well. You remember it as well, don't you?
For me, it's like the flashback. I love it because, you know, I play all my edits, and it's so much fun, you know, mixing it with 3 other tracks together and like a flashback, you know, and work and Tresor and Love Parade and you know, Hector Oaks, for example, he asked me to release my first record. I did with J-Ray back in the days on Champion Sound. And he asked me if he could bring it out again, you know, and this from Herrensauners people. And I like to work with people with new influences, or it's so much fun, yeah. Or playing sometimes back to back, or exchanging tracks, you know. For me, it's just pleasure.
Yeah.
The trends, you know, sometimes I played with artists, they are trendy and playing this hard techno. And we had really good ticket sales, and I think they had more ticket sales maybe than me, but they played 2 hours and I played 6 hours after, and they had a full club, and I kicked the club away, you know. So it's always I think we need hypes. It was back in the days when we had only magazines, we had hypes because they paid for the magazine. It's very important to have hypes.
Yeah, but this is the point I was trying to. When I was young, when I was 12, I didn't know what a club was, but I was really into electro, and this music was very club orientated, right? It had the people were going to the Roxy in New York. There was all this huge scene that was happening, but I was too young to really enjoy it, and I just wonder, with this thing that's going on, this whether maybe taste might change, you know, within the next 6 months. And I don't think it will happen to someone like you, because I think you're so focused on what you like and you have this such a broad scope. But I think maybe for kids, or for maybe people that have just started clubbing, they might not find their feet so easily without having maybe a DJ like you to go and listen to. Do you see what I mean?
I think how I said, it's up to the club owners.
Yeah.
Who they're gonna book, how is the club design. The club design is very important. If you have a white club, you wouldn't play like in a dark club. So club design, locations. Also for us, where we are not alone, gonna open Griesmühle again, that we have a place, you know, or for clubs in the world, in LA or in Mexico, in Tulum. We have to see who can survive and what kind of possibility there where we can play, and this will move the trend or the music in directions.
Yeah. Don't you think like a lot of the music trends are also based on the big parties that people play? Because like this really big room, you know, business techno, quote unquote, they're like it's fueled by this massive parties, and now there's none of that, and maybe the feeling won't be so much the same, you know what I mean? Like playing this stuff in your living room and just like playing 140 BPM techno is not going to be the same as seeing, you know, 10,000 people screaming and like reacting to the music. So I wonder if that's going to kind of bring a little bit of change to the trend or something.
I don't think so, because I have to say, when I play, or my friend or my friends or other friends, techno on 140 BPM and jumping home, yeah, and this is not dying, because after 6 months, because it's maybe after 2 years or maybe after 1.5 years, but you have the flashback. It's the last time you have this last thing, the memory of your last rave will be there until the door open again, you run inside and you want that back.
Yeah. What was the last gig that you had before the shutdown?
I played in Miami at Space, and after I played a festival close to Miami, So I had a very cool gig. Miami Space was amazing. Was so good. I played with
Ellen, as most people here who watch us know, you're running one of the biggest techno labels with Deep Pitch. Have you thought of changing your release philosophy during this time? That's the question we've been asking around all the time. If people who run like Matt running records, like, do you think it makes no sense to release any club music right now, or would you push it backwards? If you were like producing a great, amazing club track that you feel it, would you release it now? Would you wait until it's over?
My company is not orientated so much counting the dollars or euros. I have a feeling to one artist, or we have a feeling, and then we release something if there's a lifestyle vibe which brings us together. I will call art exchange.
I love that approach, but it's not only about money. It's also about like maybe that track is not going to be having its full potential once the clubs are back open. You know what I mean?
So yeah, it's true. But how? Yeah, of course, we thought like, okay, can we press vinyl now? Is it possible? It's not so easy because of transportation for the vinyl, and the clubs, the shops are not open. So we said we will release now digital and streaming and the vinyl later. Maybe some vinyl release the next. And actually, we are doing now this compilation. It will come out in summer, and it's only club music, because I think I listen club music home. And I need new club music home. I'm freaked out if I don't have new tunes.
Yes.
Dance home. I want to mix my ass off with new tracks.
Exactly. Cheers to that. Double cheers to that.
Yes.
I need to get a new beer.
And actually, my next album is finished. It's done, and we wanted to bring it out in September or in autumn, and to bring it out now. It comes out in.
What did you explore musically on the album? Like, is it clubbier, or is it more introspective? Is it like more left field?
We changed the release date because I think now music is very, very important at this moment, because people are alone home. They're really sad. Really, really sad. Maybe they're living with many people in one flat, and or they're on the other side of the world. I don't know.
I mean, we have to remember that, like, when I was growing up, music was my therapy and my escape. And you know, it's hard to tap into that, but now it is, because we're all obviously, you know, we've got this pause and we're reflecting on you know, everything, why we got into it. And you have to take yourself back to when you were a teenager, like what music meant to you.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it means, if not maybe more. Because now dance music, electronic music is so embedded in our culture. It's everywhere. So now maybe it means even more than it did for us when we were growing up.
Yes.
So.
And the music I did is, of course, club music and listening tracks with a lot of vocals. And funny is that I'm singing a lot or talking about planet Earth. I'm talking about that I don't trust so much the human being or what we are doing, that I trust more rainbows and stuff like that, you know. So it's a little bit on the point what's happening now.
Did you streamline things at the label, or were you forced to during this period where none of us are working? Our revenue streams have been cut off completely, or no, it's business as usual with the label?
It's a little bit we don't press vinyl at the moment, but we are releasing still digital and something. Maybe we do it a little bit slower, you know, like every 2 months a release. Yeah, every 2 months, something like that in this rhythm. So we have still Boston 168, Regal just came out. I mean, everything's pressed. Also Boston 168 is just there waiting to ship, but there's nothing to ship, you know. So, yeah, so Yeah.
Are you doing live streams? Are you streaming from home to the world, or are you not interested in that?
Yes, I streamed already on Instagram 2 times because I felt there was 1 or 2 times I was really sad here home. And I said, if I'm so sad, oh my God, there are so millions of other people are so sad. Today, Sunday, Saturday was boring home.
I'm willing to bet there's a handful of introverts that are quite happy that they can stay home and not see anybody.
I mean, I love to be home, but I'm too social. I'm very social person. I love to small talk. I love small talks and clubs. I love to talk. So, and then I just Instagram on and mixing. And people were so happy. You can't believe. Happy. Yeah. And you know, when I understood that, I was in bed like at the Saturday, very sad. It was 3 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock or 1 o'clock in the morning. And I felt sad. And then I found on Instagram Addison Groove. He's doing everyday a show.
Wow.
And I found him, and he made me so happy with the music he played.
I love his stuff.
Salsa. You know his Instagram, his radio show?
No, but I will. I love his stuff.
Amazing. And he made me smile, and I could sleep better because I could listen to his DJ mix 30 minutes. And he was so funny, drinking, dancing, and then he has some little effects and some sound things like beep, beep, pop, pop, and lights. He made me so smiley, and I felt so good. So I understood that, oh no, if I feel bad, I just put Instagram on or whatever it is, and I just make a set, and then I delete it, or, you know, just for fun, to share something. My own booking. I'm doing my own booking now.
Chris, your cave looked like a nightclub on Saturday.
I know.
Like,
I'm working on it.
With the smoke machine going and like the strobe light. How important is having all that to make you feel like you're in that environment? Is it important to create that club environment like from home?
I just miss it. I just miss strobe and fog. I think this is something that is ingrained in I always I will never forget the night where I think I understood techno, because you will never be able to understand techno. But when it was a Love Parade 95, and it was the Monday, and it was 11 in the morning, and I walked out of Tresor, together with Good Groove. And after playing, and it was it's quite a funny story, because I was never meant to play there. I think it was 96, it was not 95. And it was a Hard House 100 night. That was, it was 96, definitely. Hard House 100 celebrations. And I was working at that time, I was working at Hard House IQ. And on the Sunday night, it was always, Ellen, you remember that, the Sunday night was kind of like that big night at Globus and Tresor. And so everybody went there. Sven played the Sunday at daytime in the garden. And then Globus had more of the housey parts. And Tresor down there had kind of the techno freaks going on. And it was, since it was a Hard House night, it was like Pauli playing and Good Groove and all these guys, Patrick Lindsay. And Oliver Boncio was booked as well. Woo! And I was there. And for those who don't know, Oliver is a part of Hard Floor, legendary duo. And Oliver is a very tidy person. Yeah. And Oliver had all his vinyls separated in little plastic bags, you know. So that like Oliver, seriously, I have my turntable here. Before Oliver put on a record, he had to put the slip mat straight. Yeah. So it's like slip mat straight and then put on the record. And he was supposed to play with like the last set together with Good Groove down there, like the last 7 hours or something like this. And I remember I was in the office of Tresor up there, and Oliver came in and he was like, I was just down there. It's like you can't even breathe down there. And it's like dripping from the ceiling. I'm not going to open my record box down there. It's going to be a mess. I'm going to throw everything away. I don't want to do this. And I was like, you don't want to play? And you remember the Hotel Kubrat? Is it Kubrat on the Leipziger?
Yeah.
Was it? I was staying in that hotel. I think the night was like 20 marks. And I was like, I have my records like just across the street. I can run and get them. And then it said like, go get your records. And then Klaus Goodgroove, rest in peace. He's gone since a long time. The late good Klaus. He was like, come on, get your records. I don't want to be playing alone the whole night there anyways. So I went down there. And I remember when we wanted to light a joint, we had to send someone upstairs because there was literally not enough oxygen to light a lighter down there, to bring it back down. And it was just strobe, fog, sweat. It was like intensive. And when I walked out the next morning at 11, I felt like I started to understand techno. And it kind of ingrained in my blood that I need that fog, I need that strobe. And when I started, and I really miss DJing, so I really want to play DJ and also like share my music with people. So when I did this first longer stream, which was kind of like I don't know, I've lost track of time, 6 weeks ago, because I do one every 2 weeks now. I realized instantly I'm missing like light effects and I'm missing fog. So I went on like online, bought a fog machine for indoors at home for like, and some strobe, some lights here. I think I can even connect the lights here. Hey, you see that?
Hey, let's go.
15 euros. And I needed it. I just needed it. I just knew I needed it, and it felt so much better. You know, just at that point I didn't realize that you were starting to do something that you basically need 8 arms for. Not only streaming, also doing the lights, doing the fog, also watching that your stream is still functioning, selecting the music, mixing. And basically answering to comments of people while you're playing. It's a lot of fun. It's very intense, but I kind of missed it. And I really wanted to recreate the club feeling for myself, I guess. And that's, in hindsight, that makes perfect sense to me now.
You are answering while playing.
Yeah. I do everything. And then the most interesting thing in doing this is you're getting up and you go to your own toilet. Or you go to your own kitchen. You get a new beer.
What are you doing in the toilet, baby?
Right, and you're going to the kitchen, and you're standing in your kitchen. And you're like, wait a minute, like literally like 2 seconds ago, I was in a totally different world, and I'm just like exiting this world. It's a whole new time. It's a whole new thing.
It might
I like
be the
that.
normal.
But Ali, I saw your reggae dub live Sunday. I loved your reggae set, by the way. Ali's doing a reggae set every Sunday, and he was wearing the glasses and had everything, and I just got sucked into that reggae set. And you also, I mean, created a reggae environment for it, didn't you?
Yeah, I mean, like, to a degree. I mean, I got the hat. I never thought I'd buy the hat, the Rasta hat. I bought the Rasta hat. I was like just in cleaning and organizing my flat, which I haven't done in years. I found like these cool smiling glasses. Yeah, just trying to create a nice, fun mood. I don't know. I still don't know if I'll take the plunge. Like for the Saturday night kind of techno sets that I do, I don't know if, you know, I have those in my Amazon cart, but I haven't like pulled the trigger yet. Like the smoke machine and the lights. Even though I'm addicted to the smell of the smoke machine. I mean, from an early age,
that's a good smell.
Oh my god!
But I've noticed
I miss that smell really badly right now. I almost want to order it just so I can do it. A few puffs a day, so I can take in the smell.
What have we become? Puff and smoke machine smells, man.
How are you playing the reggae music? Like with your laptop or with records?
With a laptop, and now, and you know, just before I was using Ableton for effects, and now I found my old space.
I have that one too.
So this one's the bomb. Once you get like just the right settings for the style of music that you're playing. It's like, so from this weekend, I'll be using that, which will be fun.
I actually used to release like recorded mixes because I have a huge collection of old roots ska, like early ska roots, like Jamaican stuff, Prince Buster stuff, and stuff like that. I used to do little mixes and release them on SoundCloud as well. That's super cool you're doing that.
Yeah, I've gotten so much feedback from people. You know, reggae music for me has always been like my little happy place, you know, like you put on a reggae, like roots song, especially, or dub, and immediately you're transported to like, you know, a holiday somewhere.
Have you ever been in Jamaica?
Yeah, I played a Jamaican festival called Tomorrow Today last year. And I actually did one of the streams in collaboration with Tomorrow Today. So they blasted it out on their
And you visit Bob Marley Museum?
No, I was only in Negril for like 2 days. It was in the middle of a tour, so I didn't have time to hang. But I met a lot of really cool people. I met this producer named Teflon, and he's from Kingston, and he's like, come to Kingston and let's work on music together. It's like my dream to like go into a studio.
Yeah.
Some crazy dubby shit with somebody in Jamaica. You know, because a lot of people don't know also the roots of you know, I had some German friends actually message me and say, can you explain to me the roots of reggae with techno? Because everyone's telling me techno's rooted in reggae. I'm like, well, I think they mean like dub, maybe like dub music, and dub music influence, like the drum and bass and the effects. Yeah, the use of reverb and delay. It really
probably never listened to Bandulu.
Yeah. I need to pull out the old Bandula records. No, but like, I mean, if you know, everybody knows Basic Channel.
Yeah.
Like what Mark and Moritz were doing as Basic Channel, and then later Mark as Rhythm and Sound and all these other things that these projects that he does. You can draw a line very clearly between the styles.
You have to. I've been once in Jamaica, and I've been to the warehouse of Bob Marley, and I've been also in his studio where he made all the records, and in his house. You can go to his house.
Yeah.
Visit his house where he was living with his wife, and it's beautiful and it's actually crazy. And then you can visit also the big warehouse and just all the machines, pressing machines, press plants. And it's amazing. And you can find also very old records, 7 inches, like the old shit. It's warehouse.
I have a whole box of those somewhere. Yeah. Have you guys ever been to the Motown Museum in Detroit? Like whenever you've played Movement in Detroit? No? Carl Craig took me this last time I was there, and it was insane. I highly recommend it.
Yes.
It's like stepping back into time, because there's areas in the original house that they kept exactly intact, like a typewriter with the whatever someone was typing.
Yeah.
The punch-in cards for the employees. It's insane.
And
the studio.
And what was really interesting is that in the past you couldn't put black people on covers. No, there was a while you couldn't put the person who was singing on the cover. It was forbidden. And this, I forgot that, you know. And then the biggest hits, singers, black singers, not on the cover, like just a white person.
Oh wow!
All the stories you can hear there, that they're telling you all the history of disco, and it's just yeah.
I know you really love Tulum. You were telling me when we were together there. What's your fascination with Tulum, or what's your love affair with Tulum, and when did it start?
What is my love affair? Actually, I love Mexico a lot. Mexico, because I played the first time 96 in Mexico, or 98 when it was like really. I mean, I came from Berlin, jeans, shaved hair, no makeup, no straws and clubs, you know, drinking cocktails. So I'm arriving in Mexico, playing for rich people. So I was a bit shocked. And after some years, I came back there and I started loving the history a lot. It's a very old history. Mayas, whatever. I traveled with apparat through all Mexico with backpacks and night buses. So I have a very strong relation to Mexico. Tulum was just a place because there are parties. And when I'm somewhere when I just play somewhere, sometimes I just stay longer. And this was a story with me in Tulum. Tulum is not really Mexico.
Yeah.
It's
We're more in love with Mexico. It's Mexico.
Yeah, Tulum I love because I see all my friends, so I can rent a house or a flat. Mostly I have flats there, and then I can meet many people, and I can go alone, and I can rent a room or whatever, you know. So it's easy for me to connect with people there. That's why actually I'm there. And last time I played there, it was amazing. For day zero, okay. 30 minutes.
Yeah, we played together, same
yeah,
stage.
I mean, 40 minutes, there was no music when I played. But
Yeah, why don't you tell everyone what happened? Because I'm sure a lot of people are wondering what. Because I was hearing about it. I was just like bouncing around from stage to stage, and somebody came up to me and they're like, "Yeah, the Ellen stopped playing because there's no sound." And I was super high on mushrooms. I couldn't move from where I was.
I saw you smiling. You looked so happy and cute.
I was very, very happy with life that night.
Yes, you look so happy and cute and nice. Yeah, the amplifier. Yeah, but I don't make dramas. It can happen. It was really sad for the people, you know. But they just went to the other floor, or some people just stayed with me and we talked or start drinking, laughing. And it was not a big problem for me. I'm flexible. It can happen. Yeah, can happen. You know, it's a jungle. For me, the jungle. I respect so much nature, so I don't make drama if an amplifier is broken because of the water of the jungle. The jungle took over in this moment, so it's okay.
It's
a good way of putting it.
It's sort of a good segue to before we want to bring Andy in and getting some of the viewers' questions in. There was one viewer's question: is tell us about our craziest voluntary or involuntary drug story.
What?
And I already shared one this week because mine is just exactly 1 year ago, and I shared it on Instagram for those who want to read it. I just want to mention one thing: the mushroom chocolate that I ate, I made sure it was vegan before, although I had no idea there was mushrooms in there.
Oh no!
No, and it was a double portion. But I don't want to repeat the whole story. For those who want, you can read it on my Instagram feed from this week, because I played a gig involuntarily, double portion mushrooms. I had to play a 3-hour open air gig, and it was my first time that I've ever had the experience taking mushrooms. Mo, if I can say that, we always planned on taking some mushrooms out in Joshua Tree sort of area, didn't we? And we never made it. And then I end up like eating a chocolate that I still had in my bag in a train going to the little open air where I was playing. And then I started to realize it was the double portion chocolate filled with mushrooms on an empty stomach right after Mayday. Again, I made sure it was vegan. For those who want to know the story, go to my Instagram. Huh?
How was your set? So you played on mushrooms?
I actually released that set this week on my radio show. So for people who want to listen to it, maybe some people say that set was so much better than any other set. But any one of you wants to share a crazy story before we get Andy in?
I've got far too many stories,
but Mo's got good ones.
Yeah.
Mo? Come on, Mo.
There was one time I was probably, I don't know, maybe I was 17 or 18 or something like that. I had a friend come over my parents' house, and he offered me mescaline for the first time, and I had never done it before. And we had taken it, and unfortunately, it never hit us. And my friend went home, and we were like, oh well, it was bunk, it didn't work, blah, blah, blah. Later in that evening, around 7 p.m., a friend of mine called me and said, hey, we're going to go up, climb to the top of this hill and smoke a joint. Do you want to come with us? And I was like, yeah, sure, I'll go. So we walked up to this top of this hill, and we smoked a joint, and like someone punched me in the face. My entire perception of reality had completely changed. The mescaline had kicked in probably 8 hours or 9 hours after we took it. But my friends that I was with had no idea of what I had done earlier in the day, so they didn't know what was wrong with me. As we start walking down this hill, I'm trying to play it cool, and they're maybe about 10 or 15 steps ahead of me. And I see them starting to panic and running in a different direction, and they're trying to scream at me, but whisper at the same time to be careful, be careful, be careful. And I was being loud because I didn't really know what the hell they were talking about. And I was saying, well, what's going on? Where are you guys running? What's going on? What's happening? And I had thought they said there was a wolf or sort of a wild dog out in the wild. So I freaked out. I panicked and I ran and I jumped on this fence and I climbed to the top of the fence as high as I could. I threw one leg over, so I'm sitting up on top of the fence, swinging back and forth, and a spotlight hits me, and it was the Los Angeles Police Department. And apparently my friends were walking ahead of me, and they saw the police, and they decided to run a different direction, and they were trying to warn me not to go in that direction, but I blew the cover by screaming, "Wolf! Where's the wolf? What are you talking about? Where's the wolf?" So, LAPD hit me with a spotlight and was just like, what is this guy doing sitting on top of a fence screaming about wolves? And they pulled me down and sent me back home in the back of a police car. So, yeah, horrible experience.
No. Oh my gosh. This is the hardest.
Anyone else? Anyone else before we get Andy in?
I mean, I had a crazy. I can just carrying on from Chrissy's mushroom chocolate adventure, but I did the same after closing Sonar. I think it was 2007, the main stage, and hanging out with friends, going on the beach in Barcelona, and I didn't know what I was eating, but it ended up being a mushroom chocolate. So and that completely changed my whole day.
I know that feeling.
Yeah, I mean, that was the first and last time that I've ever taken mushrooms in a chocolate form. And but yeah, there was friends of mine were trying to control the weather on the beach. There was all sorts of craziness going on, and yeah, it was So I feel for you, Chris, on your mushroom chocolate adventure.
I just remember my mixer looked like a Lego mixer. It just looked like a Lego. I'm just like, why? I'm playing on a Model 1. Why is this not a Model 1? This is like, it's so small. It's so small. It's so colorful and small.
Wow.
Uh-oh.
Anyway, shall we get Andy in?
Chocolate mushrooms.
Chocolate mushrooms. Maybe I should try and get some for tomorrow.
I think
I have some, actually.
some. Chocolate mushroom is awesome if you want some.
Where can I get that in Frankfurt? Anyone? Cheers.
There's a place in Berlin that I used to always.
I have.
Yeah.
I have
Can you send me some? Shall we get Andy in to see what the if we still have an audience actually watching us?
They're still watching. They're tuned in.
Maybe Andy, come on board, join us.
Who's Andy?
This is Andy,
Our producer.
Ah,
He's a professional shucker.
Hey Andy, how is things?
There he
Still
is.
anyone watching? Still anyone watching us?
Yeah, lots of people
Andy.
still tuned in. Hey Ellen, how you doing? Hello. Yeah, lots of comments, lots of questions, and as Chris was telling one of his stories a little earlier on, and another guy called Drumcell was commenting on the stream, telling us about how he got. Where was it?
Doppelganger.
He was remembering being at a rave in '96 and taking so much acid, I was finally able to solve complex mathematical equations. Wow, it sounds like you've got some more stories to tell at some point.
Too many.
And Marvin Hell also thought that Chris should start his own series of nighttime storytelling podcasts. Maybe just like the sound of your voice.
Oh, thank you.
Julianne Reminaya is loving Dubfire's reggae sessions. A lot of love for your reggae sessions, Ali. So keep them going. Lady Z says massive respect to all the DJs live streaming right now. Keep doing what you love. So there's a lot of solidarity for people who want to be dancing with you and listening to your music, especially for May Day, who won't be doing it, but they're with you. But I have a first question for Ellen. from Alexander Faust, who wants to know what newcomers and favorite producers you're into at the moment, if you have any tips for us.
Don't you hate?
There's one guy, actually, our trainer, app trainer, and 30 minutes app training with my roommate, flatmate. And he played always awesome DJ mixes. And one day I asked him, Andrew, your DJ mixes are awesome. Who did the DJ mix, please? He said, it's me. I said, it's you? You are DJing? So, and we find out that he's a DJ, he's from London, and then we booked him also for our parties. And now he is doing a track also for the compilation. So I think, also Andrew is really like, Andrew Moore is his name. And yeah, he's great. He's newcomer, I don't know. Yeah. He's in the underground gay scene here, very active. He moved 2 years ago to Berlin. So, well, if you move to Berlin to, to find your way. And who else? My flatmate is a good DJ. Also, it's getting better and better. He can make warm up for me. Maybe we are not alone. I think he will shake, his hands will shake. And there's another girl from Berlin. She's from Essen. She's running in Essen here on events at the Bunker in Essen. She called Charlene. And she is great. It's a very good DJ. And she's working really hard at home, trying to find a way that the production are getting better and better. There's another girl, she's very into modular system, Jaco Live. She's working at Schneider's Büro. It's a shop where you can buy a lot of analog stuff, very famous. And she is sending me a lot of tracks and sounds, and she's awesome. I think she's very interesting, a very interesting producer. And I think there's so many, really. And for me, it's so much pleasure to connect with people, with these energies, and if they're believing in something and working on it hard and enjoying music just to produce by themselves or doing DJ mixes or whatever, it's very trippy. Techno music or electronic music really can brings you to another level of whatever you want to be.
Super. I mean, you've given some nice tips for everyone to go and check out, so thank you. General questions here. A bunch of people actually asking about the potential of virtual reality and how this can be incorporated into virtual clubbing experiences. Payam Hariri says, do you guys see the potential in virtual reality helping you create virtual parties during this long time before clubs can go back to normal? Bruno says, Alicia says, now a lot of events are being cancelled. Do you think we'll see virtual clubs, gigs being organized where fans have to pay a fee to gain access to your live set? So there's like the topic of paying fees to do streams. Is that something you could support? And also having a live virtual reality experience. Is that something you guys have come across?
I actually DJ'd a virtual reality set
Like
5 weeks ago.
Really?
Yeah.
How did that go?
I mean, there was nobody in the virtual club, so to speak, but it was streamed.
You were alone in the virtual club?
Well, it was streamed on Facebook what I was doing, so it had a lot of attendees there, but it was a funny experience, and a lot of people were discussing this whole topic of virtual reality thing. Did you have this goggle on and everything? Yeah, there's an application that it's on Facebook, makes the Oculus Quest VR goggles, and they make an application called Tribe, which they worked in hands with Pioneer, and it's basically 4 CD jacks and a Pioneer mixer, and you could actually load your entire playlist from Rekordbox into there and just DJ the whole set virtually with just the VR goggles and your headset on. So I just put all my MP3s in there and I just loaded them up and did it in VR and just streamed everything straight from the goggles. I did it for fun. It was just a funny thing, but a lot of people seem to have enjoyed it.
But you need the goggles, right? I mean, everyone needs the goggles to make it work. Otherwise, it's
Well, there are these makeshift goggles you can like stick your iPhone into and then put your head on. But I mean, come on, who really wants to do that shit?
yeah.
But like, didn't they do something in what's that video game? Fortnite, where there was like this massive rave or Second Life?
Yeah, I mean, Travis Scott had like 12 million views, didn't he, with his concert on Fortnite?
Like people were attending as their characters in the game or something.
Yeah,
I feel like that might be the future as well. Like that movie. What's the movie where everyone lives in the virtual reality? It's a new one. The one about the old arcade games.
Steven Spielberg movie?
No, it's like the new one. Coin Up, was it? Not Coin Up, or
I know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about.
yeah.
Everyone lives in this
film.
Everyone's
Isn't
like
it with Bruce Willis, and everybody has this avatar running around outside?
Yeah.
That's a different one.
No.
I mean, the headsets are going to have to become cheaper.
Ready Player One. That's the one.
Ready Player One. Yeah, it's a Spielberg movie. Yeah.
The headsets are already getting pretty cheap as it is, though. I mean, the Oculus Quest is like what, $399 now, and it's a full blown system. You don't need a computer. It just put on a headset and that's it.
But do you think like at some point people are gonna start living in these virtual worlds instead of actually going out? Because right now we can't go out, so we're living in these virtual worlds.
It's a great thing for nature, though, isn't it? If people can experience, say, the Great Barrier Reef, which is obviously dying, but they can view it virtually, then that's much better for the environment. Or be
at a party with a bunch of others.
Yeah. I don't know whether I mean, Ellen always talks about like the physicality of partying, and I think there's nothing will beat that. It's like Chris was saying, the smell of the smoke machine, you know, it's you can't get that.
That's true.
Smell-o-vision.
Have you guys ever gotten like a demo from like a virtual reality demo with the headset and everything?
I've never done it. I've played Mo's thing before with the DJ, with the Pioneer decks. It's really difficult because you're holding controls in your hand like this, and you have to try to mix with like pulling triggers. You're not actually.
It's like being on mushrooms.
It's super weird.
It's just like being on mushrooms. It's pretty insane. The technology is, I'm not gonna lie, it's insane. But it's such an isolated experience, you know. It's like you in that environment with maybe gloves, or that, you know, you obviously you got the headset. There's some experiences where you're sitting in a like chair, special chair that vibrates according to what's happening with whatever it is they're showing you. So I don't know. It's a strange one, but there's a part of me that feels like at some point in the future, people, just like with cell phones in their pocket, they're going to be walking around with like, you know, virtual reality headsets, and they're going to go to their friends' houses, and maybe one of us is going to be on soon, and then everyone's going to put their headset on, and then bam, you know,
maybe it'll be
into our environment, you know.
Maybe it'll be augmented. I think maybe more so than virtual. I mean, I think that's the whole thing with not owning the ownership that we had, say, of the 20th century of having a record collection or a library. These things will go once they can figure out how you can actually see things that aren't there. You know, so you can read a book without it being there, or have a party without being. I think the virtual reality thing still, for me, will always feel like you just say it's not it's singular, right? Because you're
still alone.
Yeah,
it's
you're
not
still
social
alone
at all. You know, it's a complete opposite.
You can change it always. Like every minute you change it. Oh, now I want to be in Hawaii.
You can change the ending of the story.
Oh, now I want to be here. Ooh, wow. This is crazy.
Yeah.
And I think that's ultimately the difference to a real life experience, because you don't have these consequences. And I think that's one thing that's going to make the big difference always, that no matter how amazingly you can recreate something digitally or virtually, if you always know in the back of your head, I can get out of it in a second and just go on my couch, it will never be the same as actually being in a club and basically needing to get a cab in the morning to go back to your couch. You know what I mean?
Trying to leave Berkheim.
Yep.
The whole experience. Yeah.
Oh, you just reminded me. Oh.
Is that another story, Chris?
No. Oh, yes. Okay, stop it. We keep this for next week, the next story. Andy, another question?
Save it for Chris's nighttime stories podcast.
Yeah, I'll save it for my nighttime bed stories.
Okay, let's do a real quick fire question where you're just gonna have to rattle off an answer. Daniela Horianga wants to know, what are your 2 or 3 tracks, but let's go with one each. Track that never leaves your record bag. First up, Mo, Drumcell.
I think it's still James Ruskin's work track, the Steve Rockmud remix.
Tough one.
Ali, tough.
I mean, I carry my whole collection with me.
Different weapon.
I carry the music over from one laptop to the next, so I have everything I ever need. I think one that I pull out regularly, especially when I'm playing more after-hours sets, is Mike Delgado, the Murder track.
Yeah, it's amazing, that EP.
Yeah. That's from early 90s, like 91 or something.
David, Mr. Truncate?
No Way Back by Adonis. Like, in any chance I get to play it, I'll play that. That's like one of my all-time favorites.
Ellen?
I think it's Seawolf, Underground Resistance. That's a tune. It's a banger.
It's a banger.
Of course, I have also my hard running with like so much old school stuff, and there are many bubble. Okay, one.
yeah, you're done. Chris?
Into Darkness Radio Slave remix.
Hey!
Big ups.
And for that matter, every Radio Slave track.
Thank you.
That's true.
I'm your stalker, Matt. You know that.
You are.
Was that everyone? Did everyone answer?
No, apart from me. For me, it's Nate Williams' Club Patrol, the Roy Davis Jr. remix on Sex Tracks.
Oh yeah.
It's just like one of the, I don't know, it's the ultimate wild pitch kind of experience. It's killer.
Maybe we should start a DJ and Beer's biggest tracks Spotify playlist this week, as I did, you know? Thursday night banging the tunes out at home. Okay, here was an interesting question from Ada. After 1 month out or more, 1 month out of the clubs and festivals with such a powerful noise, and referring to like sound systems, monitoring club sound systems, do you feel your hearing is better, different, or you hear new things, not including the voices in your head, Chris? But do you like you spend so much time in clubs? How's your hearing affected from not being in a club and in this crazy loud environment? How are you looking after your hearing? Does it improve your kind of listening in the studio environment?
No.
Still can't hear it.
You want it quick?
What?
You know, Benny Rodriguez, like there's one thing that like about the earplugs and everything, because I've tried to wear earplugs in the clubs and I do know my hearing is suffering. But Benny Rodriguez like once said it best. He said like, I'm here in this moment and I'm living this moment and I want to live the music 100%. Why would I force myself to only hear 70% of the music in this moment? Like, I don't care about tomorrow or yesterday. I want to live it in this moment. And obviously, you need to be a little bit careful with your hearing. And obviously, you're not going too crazy. But that's kind of like how I feel as well. It's like I want to feel the full force of the music in the club. And yes, it affects my hearing. And yes, I do believe my hearing has been getting a good break. Although I have these amazing headphones back there, which I'm also using for my...
Those big cans, the big cans.
Well, a lot of people were asking last week, actually.
For my live sets, so I'm blasting those too. So I don't really have a big of a break.
Yeah, but Chris, you've always been really good, especially when I noticed when we play back to back. You're always scolding me for how loud.
Your monitoring is insanely loud. How can you still hear me?
You got to be in the moment, man. You got to feel the music. Like,
Oh, yeah, right. You know, feel the music.
it's club music.
Okay.
You want to feel it.
I know. I'm contradicting myself in real time. Go ahead, everyone else.
I mean, I have noticed that the tinnitus has kind of gone away.
That's good.
Yeah.
I honestly don't hear the tinnitus as bad as I used to. I never really gave my, I mean, we've been touring, all of us, for more than 20 years, right? So constant touring. Like, the tinnitus was always there, you know? I sleep actually at night with a sound machine. That's the only way I can sleep. It's a travel one, and I take it with me when I travel. But yeah, I've really noticed that my hearing is better, and I don't hear the tinnitus as much. So, in answer to that question.
For me,
So
it's
like, what do you think it's gonna be like when we go back to loud
It's
environments?
gonna sound really loud and really clear.
Sorry, Ellen, I cut you off. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I have to say, for me, it's very relaxing not being in clubs at the moment. I feel that when I'm working in the studio, it's easier for me to produce at the moment. I hear much better. And I'm less stressed, so I can concentrate much better. It's not easy when you constantly play and going in the studio. So I always try when I'm going in the studio not to play too much.
Do you
Otherwise,
DJ with earplugs?
in clubs, yes, I'm using earplugs, not while playing, but after playing, because often people scream in your ears or something, and I'm really afraid. I want to talk to people, so they can scream in my ears, somebody can bite in my ears, whatever. So, and also sometimes the DJ is just too loud. I think me too sometimes, of course, but for me it's just too loud sometimes, and this distortion I don't like so much, or if the sound system is not well. Earplugs are very useful. And also I can talk better in clubs. I hear people better.
Can I add something with the earplugs? Of course, I wear earplugs too when others are playing.
Yeah.
It's just when I hear my music. All right.
Yeah, because it's much easier to stay longer in clubs. You know, if you really want to listen long set and talking and everything, especially after playing.
Yeah.
You need earplugs after to relax your ears. It's too much.
Yeah.
Nice. There's someone asking now, how do you stop the ringing in your ears? I think you just need to take care of the levels when you're listening to music, right? Going to clubs, and wear earplugs, of course. But you can't sort of treat it so well afterwards, right? Once you have that ringing in your ears.
I think
There's no
solution. There's no cure for it. Yeah.
Because I have it on my right ear. It's always there. Just have to learn. You either there's sound treatments you can do, or you just learn to ignore it. Basically, that's the treatment, is like learning how to ignore it, or watching it out. Like what Ali was saying, was like at night, especially when it's super quiet, you want some machine on making some white noise or something. Like I have like an air purifier that just kind of whooshes at night. I just turn that on, and that helps me. Otherwise, it's too quiet. It drives me crazy.
And I also think, if I may add, that the audience is actually more prone to get a ringing in their ears than us DJs, because we can control our volume. Like I can take down my monitoring if I feel it's too loud, but the people on the dance floor, they basically have to live with whatever the volume level is out there.
Yeah.
I mean, I see people sticking their heads into the cone. Like,
those are who eat 2 bars of chocolate mushrooms.
Yeah, I'm
used to do that
fascinated
back in the
by those
day.
people. I'm like, wow, no plugs the entire time, like the head in there.
We used to back in the 90s.
The big Serwin Vega subs, just like sit inside of them.
We used to do this in the 90s in the Ministry of Sound. We used to go and sit in the bass cone on mushrooms and listen to like Future 303 playing live.
Wow.
Now I know why your kicks are sounding like your kicks are sounding.
Yeah, but that system was renowned for being super clean and clear and not like other systems that damage your ear.
So, I mean, those you could actually sit in them. I mean, the bass cones were like that high. I mean,
we used to have these speakers in LA called Tonka sound.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
They
remember
were
some-
actually they were yellow. They were painted like those Tonka trucks, like those toy Tonka trucks, black stripes, and they were like at every rave. But the bass spins, you could get on the floor and crawl into them because
You
they
sit
went
inside of them, like literally.
Yeah, you just crawl inside of them and you just sit inside of them, and there would just be pools of just kids on ecstasy just sitting in these bass spins.
Dude, I remember sitting in the Tonka speakers like at gabber parties and just like
Yeah.
190 BPM. Bah, bah, bah. You're just inside, just like, yes, give me more, give me more.
Okay, guys. Should we wrap it up with one final question?
Sure.
Unless you want to keep going. 423 Kowalski is asking who has a favorite piece of hardware in the studio with an interesting backstory or a bit of heritage behind it. Who's maybe you're not in the studio now with all your gear, but anyone got an interesting piece of gear with them or a story?
I do. I can tell it real quick. It's my 909 that got signed by Jeff Mills in Colombia.
Woo!
The funny story with that is I wasn't in town to take the 909 to Colombia. They hit me up. I was in Europe, and they're like, "Hey, we'll fly you to Colombia if you bring your 909 and have Jeff Mills use it for a festival." And I was like, "I'm not in town." So one of my friends, Dean, came to my house, got the 909, and they flew him to Colombia and let Jeff Mills use it, and he signed it for me. And the pattern is still on there. I never deleted the pattern, the last one that he did, so it's all on there. So
What?
good, right?
That's amazing.
That's amazing.
Let's everyone say hi to Dean. Hi, Dean.
Hey, Jeff. Woo!
Wow.
Real quick. That's it.
Nice. Do you guys want any more questions?
This isn't a particular
I mean,
special piece of equipment.
we have more equipment, dude.
But this three here.
You go.
I have a Prophet 6
Oh, yeah.
that was signed by Dave Smith, and I actually went to his
Ooh.
little showroom in San Francisco, and we've become friends over the years. And
He's a good dude.
yeah, he's a really, really great guy. Comes to the parties. Really is.
Yeah, that 303.
You all remember my 909, right?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Oh,
Chris,
yeah.
Chris got like it's like the 1920 Yankees signed it. You got everyone that signed it.
Wow. Little Babe Ruth action in there.
Mm-hmm.
What a lovely machine.
What's your 303 story, Mo?
Oh, that was just from the first recording studio that I worked at when I was 14 years old. It was
You
a
stole it?
label called Groove Nation.
Groove Nation. What was the guy? DJ Juanito?
DJ Juanito, yeah. He had produced a huge record that went platinum with an artist named Lena Santiago. The track was called Show Me Your Love. It was like a freestyle house electro jam that he did. And when I got a job at the studio, I used to drool over that 303, and I worked there for years with him. And it wasn't until like finally I turned 22 or 23 when they shut the studio down, he actually gave it to me and was just like, "I know how much you've always wanted this. You've spent years in this studio, so this is for you." So I've always kept that around.
Wow.
Yeah.
Ellen, are you home or in your studio? Do you have anything around you?
Yeah, I have museum here. I think my favorite synthesizer is ARP 2600 because it's a monster. It's like there's it's so much fun to play with it.
Mo has it right behind him. If you look, it's the replica though.
Behind me, what?
Mo, the Drumcell.
I have an ARP 2600 there, the remake one. That's great.
What is that? The black thing here. The modular system. What is that?
This?
Yeah.
That's an ARP 2600, but it's the 2600. It was a kit remake from the original components.
Yeah, mine is a little bit bigger. It's
Yeah, like the size of
here. There. Can you see it?
Can't see it. No, it's too dark.
Too dark.
Right.
Also black.
All good.
Yeah. Yeah, I have a lot of analog synthesizers here in my house.
Ah.
Which tequila are you drinking?
Don Julio. Always Don Julio, because you can mix it very good with water and lime. It's my favorite. It's easy. But it's empty. I need another one.
Thanks to DJs and beers, I'm going to be drunk in the afternoon once again.
Nice.
But it's a pleasure with this group.
It's once a week. It's okay.
Yeah.
Tomorrow's May Day, so.
Oh yeah.
Tomorrow is Thursday.
Yeah.
Right. Well, thank you so much for coming on, Ellen.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. And I hope I see you soon.
Keep in touch.
Hopefully.
Stay safe. Stay healthy.
And we're gonna dance a lot, no? Together.
Hope so.
It's gonna be an epic after.
Yes.
Cheers.
That's going to be an after party. That's going to be quite an after party.
And the world, stay safe.
Looking forward to it.
Great. Well, Ellen, thanks for being my secret special guest. Thank you so much.
It was so much fun, guys.
Pleasure. The more I hear about stories from LA when you guys were younger, the more I think we should do a special show about your stories of LA when you were younger in LA with all the raves. That's great. For anyone out there still watching, maybe also tell us in the comment sections. Wait, where's what?
She's
Ellen
gone.
just left us.
She's out.
Okay. For anyone still like watching, tell us in the comment sections what maybe we could do better. We tried to stick to 1.5 hours. We again didn't make it.
Nope.
Whose fault is
Nope.
that?
And I'll do my last cheers. Thanks again, Ellen, for being on the show. Guys, thanks so much for the good times. Andy, thank you so much for producing.
Thanks, Andy.
Pleasure.
Just in the background of Juice Productions, thanks for transmitting this signal to the world.
Thanks, guys.
Anybody else has some last words?
I guess
Okay.
if we want to drop a little promotion, Mo and I are doing a stream tomorrow for Compound in LA. It's like all LA DJs, and you'll see it on our Facebook and Instagram and all that stuff. So.
Yeah, I think David plays 3 to 4 Pacific time, and I play 4 to 5 Pacific time.
Yeah. So we got that going on.
Nice.
Cool.
And you've got the remix EP is now ready, right, David? It's ready.
Yes, yeah, that's right. I got your pre-master.
Yeah.
So I'm getting the artwork done, and yeah, I'm working to get that out as well. So
when is that? Like September or something, maybe? Before.
Maybe before, because I want to get it. Hopefully, like July.
Okay, cool.
We'll see what happens, because I want to press the vinyl. So depending.
And you press the vinyl in the States?
Yes, with you know Dietrich from Complete.
Yeah.
He's the one that does all my vinyl pressing and everything. So.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah. Dietrich Schönemann.
Yes.
Yeah. Prototype 909.
Prototype 909. Shout out.
Didn't he do this big track Eon New York? Or one of my favorite tracks. I played it actually in my last live set, in my last stream set. Acid New York.
Possibly.
Under
Eon.
Prototype 909.
And if any of you guys still want to remix Black on Black, the competition's now be extended for another week, Chris. So you've still got time.
How many submissions have you gotten so far, by the way?
I think we're up to, I think it's almost like 100 or something so far.
Wow.
But we decided to go, because I think it's one of those things, with what's going on, we might as well just extend it for another week, let people have a go. So
Nice.
but there's no rush, is there, at the moment?
Yeah.
All right, there's no rush. All right, anyone else? Anything to promote for the next week?
I'm gonna be recording it now. Something for Sunwaves. Sunwaves are doing like a little virtual festival event tomorrow.
You're doing a 26-hour recording now?
No, 2 hours. Nice and manageable.
What?
Yeah. So I'll be a part of that with people like Seth Troxler and
You're going to slow it down so it becomes 26 hours.
yeah. Oh, the memories of that 26.5-hour set. Yeah, pretty crazy. But yeah, that's tomorrow. And I got to go record that now.
Cool.
So,
Right
Cheers,
on.
guys.
gentlemen.
Okay. See you guys soon. Take
See you
care.
guys soon.
Tune in again next Thursday, 9 p.m. when all of us are back together, and Mo has a secret special guest next week. And I wish you all a great, healthy week and stay.
Take care.
Take care. DJs and
Bye.
beers.
Ciao.
Good night, everyone. Thank you so much. Thanks, Andy.
Cheers.